All right, people, we are live. Houston, we have a problem. A situation is brewing its ugly head. You know that same thing that consistently pops up again and again and again, the parasite eating the host, trying to overtake the brain? Yeah, Chucky's got himself a problem. And of course, you know I'm talking about Chucky Schumer. I've got all the things that you need to see right now. This live stream, this one is going to be a fun one, and it's going to require the fortitude of many patriots. The strength of those that came before you is required to get through these tabs of freedom, which I'm about to walk you through, because guys, we are saving the country step by step, and our opponents who want to tear the entire thing to the ground and burn and pee on its ashes are really stepping on each other's toes. It's going to be a thing, and I know you're going to love every second of it. So guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We do lives every single night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, along with a cornucopia of freedom issued out on the daily. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. And of course, the comments, the chats, and the emojis make the entire world go round. Tell the notification bell to get out of his mom's basement, off his mom's couch, dust off all the Tostitos crumbs off his chest, and get to work, dang it, because you've got distribution to do. And of course, he's not going to do it because he's a lazy lefty. But anyway, let's get right back into it, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm feeling the spice. I'm feeling momentum. So let me see you in the comments. Audio, video, good to go. Oh, baby. Let's get it. All right. So as you guys know, comments, chats, and emojis make the world go round. And once it's posted, we're off. All right, people, I am seeing all of the people in here. Love the content. Thank you very much. Where is it? I got to post this. It's moving too fast. The message is pinned. Therefore, we are off to the races. All right, beautiful people, listen. Very seldom do I have to start off with the level of stupid that I'm about to show you. And you know, honestly, make sure your finger's near the volume button on this one, because we found him again. That roving lefty, the one that finds himself in the car, inappropriately screaming at the top of his lungs. He's back, and he's with much chagrin to tell you the news, the goings-on, through all the yelling, spitting, and expletives. But other than that, he's a really, really rational guy. If you've been here for a while, you know that this guy is like, man, he is like grade A crazy. And I am freaking here for it, because he sets up our tune perfectly as we continue this orchestra of freedom. You guys see what I did there? All right, listen. If you're here, you're here. If you're not, you're not. Catch up. Again, volume warning. Here we go. We're just going to have some fun with this one.
Murdered an ICU nurse in Minneapolis. Multiple agents held him down, a U.S. citizen, and pistol whipped him, and then shot him while he was on the fucking ground. And now he's dead. What the actual fuck is happening in this country? This is a fucking execution in broad daylight. And after the shooting, I tried to force the local cops to back off, to leave the fucking scene. Tell me what the fuck is happening when an arm of the government starts acting like a fucking death squad. When mothers, fathers, people in our communities are being shot on our streets without any accountability. You don't get to shoot someone.
Okay. Woo! God almighty, y'all in the comments are saying Xanax. I don't think Xanax is going to do it. I don't think this is a Xanax covers it situation. Hey, fun little, this kind of popped into my brain because this is just who I am. You think this guy orders coffee like this? Walks up to Starbucks and it's like, I really want a macchiato. You better not give me any sugar because I have diabetes type 2 and I will lose my collective shit. Sir, do you want an iced lemon pound cake? Of course I do. I mean, like, my God, it is the most insane. It's absolutely insane. And I've got to give you a little bit of a breather on this because I need a Xanax after watching this. The things I do for you guys. But anyway, we're going to continue with this in a second, but I just want to point something out. We're having fun. We're tongue-in-cheek. Of course, it's all performative. This is literally the left. I'm going to show you I care more than you do. So I'm going to scream in an inappropriate manner at the most inopportune times. My breathing isn't even going to be screaming. I'm going to spit all over my car. I'm in the car seat mode, so I am uber emotional. Literally. Guys, you have to look at this from what everyone else sees. Okay, zoom out and macro this real quick, and I'll get these super chats in 1 second. you have to understand the theme. You have to understand the trend that you are seeing. All of these lefties are finding their nearest car, going to sit in it in their enclosed little environment and just explode at their camera. It's like the new virtue signal. It's free, it's cheap, and it's got quick distribution. That's exactly what you're seeing, whether it is 30-something women who are cat women already, or it's this dude with a brand new handlebar mustache, which I gotta be honest, it's a pretty good mustache. But I mean, it's the standard. I care more than you do because you don't care enough to scream into your phone in your car and look like an absolute lunatic. I am more virtuous than you are. Have you seen my Facebook emojis? I mean, literally, guys, this is what you're dealing with. And I'm only on one of two crazy. Okay, again, this is just the launching point. I haven't even gotten to you how the left is eating Chuck Schumer alive. This is going to be amazing. All right. Okay, we're going to go back into it. Hope the Xanax is on board. Grab all your popcorn. Here we go.
And walk away! You don't get to do that shit in our fucking street! This is a human rights crisis! This is America turning into a fucking police state! And we will not stay quiet! We will not sit back! We will not act like this is fucking normal! Get in the fucking streets! Get loud! Get angry! And fucking stand for...
Well, we got through it, guys. Until his next episode where he has to rest his voice, because probably for 3 or 4 days, because he pulled out his little soy boy vocal cords. But anyway, let's keep on going. I got some super chats to catch up to. Then we'll get to the next level of crazy. We are only on the appetizer if you're just now getting in here. So make sure you jump in, you take part in the comments, the chats, the emojis. And remember, you guys are deputized to get into the chat and handle any lefty that wanders in. We are collecting quite the cornucopia of lefties that tend to show up and offer shenanigans, but you guys are doing amazing work. I love seeing it. I'll be on this side of the camera. You guys got your keyboards. All right, super chats. Let's get over here. I got a couple to catch to because I do not want you guys to fall through the cracks. That would not be cool. Okay, here we go. Grunt98, $2 super chat. Okay, he said, or they said, Suprodolium curvatus, which is Latin for bend over a barrel. Because in my previous video, I said, what's Latin for bend over a barrel, referring to Tim Walz. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you for that. I appreciate the Latin distribution. Amazing. All right, I got another super chat I got to catch too. Robin Daniels with a $5 super chat. You get a heart. Thank you for that. And now we have a $9.99 from David Gleason, number 7. Also a heart issued. Oh, one more came through, and then we'll be off to the races to part D. JDJR 999 or 999, excuse me. The real reason they want illegals is congressional seats and electoral counts. Every 400,000 is a congressional seat. Every 600,000 is an electoral vote. They don't need them to vote, just be counted. Around the apportionment. You know the best part about that is they're losing apportionment. It's all going to red states. Good point, though. Good point, though. Well said. And someone said coronary. I love it. All right, people, let's get right back into this. Here we go. We have to go to the next one. And you remember what I told you about the never-ending virtue signal? Yeah. We have someone who cares more than you. Clearly, they're a better American. I told you needed fortitude for this episode. I gave you a fair warning. We're in this together, but I did give you a warning. So this woman cares more than you do. And just like every single American, every normal red-blooded American, she's going to call her representative's office and she's, of course, going to record the entire thing while she cries through a voicemail. Totally normal. Not weird at all. Totally emotive. All right, let's get into this. Let's just hear it's really, really critical. Everyone gets their say. It doesn't mean I'm not going to make fun of it, but honest to God, everyone gets their say. Seems like a lovely woman. Seems like she really cares. All right, here we go. This is her voicemail that she recorded herself leaving on John Thune's office. Here we go.
Thank you for calling. If you would like to leave me a message, please press 1.
Senator Thune, if you have any integrity left inside of that body of yours, and if you care about the Second Amendment, and if you care about the Fourth Amendment, and if you care about the First Amendment, and if you care about just our country in general, you will make sure the DHS appropriations bill is a separate measure on the floor in the Senate next week. And you will make sure that you and the rest of the GOP shut ICE down in that appropriations measure. You will not play brinkmanship with the Democrats. You will not turn this into another political game. You will do the right thing, and you will shut this agency down.
Okay, so we're just gonna have to have a conversation. And thank you for the emojis, the comments. She's trying not to laugh. She might be. I mean, this is real serious, guys. It's wild. And while yes, this is insane, and yes, this is nutso, you have to understand what she's talking about, because that's really where the kernel of comedy is. Because she's talking about the same thing Chuck Schumer talked about when Chucky Schumer was like, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and shut down the entire government, but we don't want to shut down those 5 spending bills. So Republicans, in order for us to shut everything down, to make sure our virtue signal is good for our leftist base, which has us captive and by the pelotas, they're tiny pelotas, but they're still pelotas. Yeah, you're going to need to separate out the one that we don't like from the ones that we do. So therefore, we can not vote on the one we don't want and shut down the government on that one. But these we're not going to get blamed for. You know, like FEMA in the middle of a blizzard. Guys, this is honest to God what they're doing. Like, I know a lot of people. You know what? Actually, come here real quick. I know a lot of people online and a lot of personalities, most of whom I respect. Some I'm just like, no, whatever. But most of them I respect. They're losing their minds on the whole world is Chicken Little, sky falling, black pilling thing. And it's never really accurate. I mean, my God, you're watching these people lose their collective minds. And we're worried that, I don't know. I'm just saying. I call it like I see it. Let's get back to this lady. She cares more. So therefore, she's a better American than you. It's quite obvious. Hit it.
You cannot let this continue. And this is your fault, by the way. You and Speaker Johnson gave us the big beautiful bill and gave all that money to Homeland Security knowing they would do this with it. You will fix this now. Fix it.
Okay, hold on. In full transparency, I had not heard the very end of that with that little whimper. That was solid, profound acting. My God, she landed that plane. Y'all, we are at 2,300 viewers right now, and we're only at the appetizer. You guys keep on sending out. You're amazing for being here. Thank you so much. And if you are just now tuning in, remember you are deputized for those random leftivists that get into the chat. Those pesky lefties that wander in and try to pee in our Cheerios. We will not have it. You guys must have the fortitude of the patriots that came before you and lead the way. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here and leaving those comments, the chats, the emojis. And if you're new, you should hit that subscribe button, like the channel. And of course, turn that notification bell on. Even though he's a lazy bastard, he does still need to be on. All right. Now, oh my God, guys, I almost don't even want to show you what I'm going to show you. You're going to be dismayed beyond measure. I mean, I'm actually dismayed watching it. I'm not dismayed. I'm not dismayed at all because this always happens. Oh my God, new footage just came out. Well, I guess we got to talk about it. So I'm not going to do the audio here. I'm just going to play this and let it roll. So this is new BBC footage of the the innocent, amazing, best person ever on the planet, the ICU nurse who never did anything wrong. He actually dropped down from angels. He saves babies on the weekends, and he also runs an orphanage, and he also has a lot of places for puppies and kittens. Yeah, the guy who didn't do anything wrong, he was just openly murdered. Yeah. Turns out he's done this before, and he already had altercations. In fact, he was assaulting officers on him. Man, that is weird. Anyway, I'll just play the clip, and I'll walk through it. I'm sure we'll discover something. And your audio is not broken. I'm not playing it. So there's some screaming, there's some spitting, which is actually assault on federal officers. Then he assaults their vehicles. Then he breaks their taillights. Then, by the way, he was armed in this altercation also comes up. He gets into a little bit of a scuffle. This looks really oddly familiar. This seems to be the move, by the way. I don't know what it's about. Always to his knees and resisting with his gun showing in the waistband. It's weird how that consistently happens. And as you can see in the background right there, he's straight up squaring up against ICE. Again, there he spits at him again, and then he kicks the vehicle. So, it's really, he was just directing traffic. You guys are right. It's really tiresome, guys. It's really, really, really tiresome when every single time that they have a new martyr that they say was just innocently driving to school or directing traffic. And it always turns out that they were heavily involved with anti-whatever activity. And they were, of course, being arrested and they had an arrest record, or they had some sort of, thing or not thing, they translate things. Get what I'm saying? It's really, I tell you what, it's odd that all these things keep popping up. Anyway, so they're going to jettison that one, never talk about it again. Hold on, I got some super chats I got to get to real quick because you guys are being amazing. Wait a minute, did I see, is my favorite lefty in here? Oh man, I hope she shows up. Jordan Wheeler, $5 super chat, says, you gave ICE all that money last time. Don't do it again. By the way, Jordan Wheeler, yeah, all that money's appropriated all the way through 2029, so they're not getting that out. Just saying, it's continuing. That's why it all leads into what I'm showing you in a second. Just bear with me. I told you. We needed fortitude, and we needed a lot of snake boots on this one. I'm crying. We don't have enough salt in Minnesota. Enough ice in Minnesota. Could be salt. I don't know. Well, Mike, I don't know what to tell you. You live in the Arctic. I don't know. From a Floridian, you live in the Arctic. All right, guys, let's keep on going. Smoking Guns with a $5 super chat. I think they missed the gun then. Probably fogged up gas mask. I think he would have been detained if they saw it. Yeah, I genuinely think they would have as well. But my whole point is, it's just like, it's always a narrative. It's always manipulation, and it's always propaganda. Let's keep on going. It's just what we do, cutting through the propaganda like a knife through fog. And now, this is the coup de grace, the piece de resistance, if you are one of the Frenchies, which no French people watch my videos, so it's okay. I can make fun of it. This part is where it all starts falling apart. Not for us, for them. Because one of the things, while everyone is really freaking out about this thing didn't happen or this thing did happen, they're not focusing on what is legitimately happening within the Democrat Party. And I've told you guys this for 12 months. Let me hear you in the comments in the chats if you remember this, if we've been part of the conversation. We're going to continue saying it for the next 3 years, probably beyond that, because once 2030 hits, it's like, whoo, bye, on the Democrat side. But the left is eating the middle. The progressives are eating the Democrats. This is what's happening. This is not even supposition anymore. This is actively happening. Because while Chuck Schumer, and I showed you the video yesterday where Chuck got in there and the camera was cutting in real tight and he was using F words and being real tough while he's got that old 80-year-old geriatric stoop thing going on. Yeah, the left is going, the hell are you doing? Because they did this. Watch. And by the way, guys, video's not going to like itself. Just saying. All right, here we go. News. Chuck Schumer just announced the Democrat demands on DHS and ICE. And here's what they said. End roving patrols and altering the warrant rules. Uniformed code of conduct and accountability. They want them to wear uniforms. Get rid of masks and body cams are required. I got something for you tomorrow on that one. It's hilarious. As we reported earlier this week, these are the ideas that were gaining steam in the caucus. Now, here's why this is so incredibly important. And here, if I'm landing this plane, let me see some planes in the comments if I'm over the target, all those things. This is why this is important, because this is the moderate position in the Democrat Party. This is not the far left progressive insane. Remember the whole thing I showed you where they had a defunding the ICE problem, but they also had a defund the police problem, but they also had a little bit of a we just kind of want to change the rules a little bit issue? They can't figure out how to land on this issue, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is in a second. All these tabs are building on each other. Wait till the end. But all of this is going and culminating in this reaction right here. You've got the same thing. I already told you this. State and local operation into shootings, mandating federal officers to identify themselves and requiring a warrant for arrest. It's the same thing I just showed you. And the reactions begin. This guy is a lefty. This is a leftoid. This is a leftivist. Hey, Senator Schumer, what the actual F? Says Adam. This is not nearly sufficient. Well, at least he's articulate when he does it. Especially when the DOJ refuses to investigate the case. Why would you make your demands weaker when the base is actually behind you for once? Are you getting shades of something that's happened before? Anything reminding you anything? Because if it's not reminding you of the exact same way that the left eviscerated Chuck Schumer in the shutdown about 3-4 months ago, no, actually 2 months ago, then you're not paying attention. Because this is the exact same language and the exact same pushes that they were doing on Chuck Schumer from the far left wing of the Democrat Party. By the way, it's 2/3 of their party now. The parasite is becoming the host. But honestly, This is what they're doing, and it's just now getting started. Let's keep on trucking. We got a couple super chats I got to get to real quick. That was actually a good one. I think it's just one, actually. Zahara with is that a New Zealand dollar? I think that is my first New Zealand donation on a super chat ever. Congratulations, Zahara. You get a New Zealand heart. If the Dems had a brain cell, we would see an IQ. Well, that's true. Not wrong. Not wrong. A leftivist. That's nice. All right, 3,100 people, guys. We are just now getting started. Thank you for tuning in. Here we go. All right. You remember Graham Plattner? Do you guys remember that guy? He's a sweetheart. He only has Nazi death head tattoos on his chest. I mean, sure, he's the Democrat nominee for the progressive left in Maine for United States Senate. Again, actual death head tattoos from the Nazi regime on his chest. Actually there. Whole big hullabaloo, right? He says, "What are we doing here? DM me for my cell, Chuck, because this is pathetic." Talking about those same demands. Says the guy with the Nazi tattoos on his chest, while everyone else is a Nazi, they've got it branded on their bodies. Okay, let's just continue. Enough out of you, Graham. I cannot wait for him to take the nomination in Maine and then sink the entire thing. It's going to be so glorious. All right, here we go. David Soroida. Remember what I've told you in the recent days, guys. This is important because it all comes full circle. The Democrat Party machine is now working to create the justification for caving to Trump on the ICE issue. See how quickly that happened? This is the third way. This is all the other individual organizations that I've been doing exposés on. They're talking about doing the moderate position, which, by the way, the moderate position in Democrat world is the better, more winning issue. Broadly. Not me, them. The far left progressives, the psychopaths like you saw in the intro where they're just screaming into the camera, they're the far left position, which will not win the population. The moderate position will, and half of them know it, but the other half are going to burn the other half down. All right, here we go. A few days ago, he says, I warned that the tycoon-funded Searchlight Institute, run by former Fetterman staffers, has been deriding ICE critics. Now we get this update from the Senate, and I'm going to show you what they highlighted. Let me zoom in for you, for everybody in the back. All right, Politico. Democrats should embrace reforming, not abolishing the agency. Well, that's a bit of a problem if you're a far left progressive who's made your entire campaign abolishing the agency, along with the other Democrats who have said abolish ICE, who've used the exact same language as reimagining ICE, which is the same language as reimagining policing when they defunded the police. All of these things are coming together into a nice little bowl of crap. Let's keep going. It came across the desk of aides to Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer Tuesday and continued to make the rounds among Senate Democrats early Wednesday. You know what that means? Yeah, that means that this right here, these demands that they're so pissed about on the left, this is what they're going to push. This is what they're going to try to do to shut down the government, and this is what they're going to demand accountability for. They're not going to defund ICE. I'm telling you right now. I bet this live stream on it. They're just not going to. Because the things I'm going to show you in a second. I guess I tell you, I'm telling you what the Dems are going to do before they even know they're going to do it. And that's not because I'm special. They're just, that special. Okay, let's keep on trucking. Comments, emojis, chats. Oh, look, Chris Murphy. You know, I tell you what, if there's one guy that I just do not like, it's Chris Murphy. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Not my favorite. All right, so this is an interesting juxtaposition. You've seen Chris Murphy. You've seen the progressives online. You've seen the progressive candidates in the campaign for Senate in Maine. Now let's look at the senator from Connecticut, the gun controller extraordinaire that he is. Democrats are right to deny funding for the Department of Homeland Security, absent changes that stop the lawlessness and inhumanity, changes that Americans are demanding. Do you know you're demanding that? I didn't either. Let's talk for a second about what has to change immediately and why it's so important that we demand these reforms. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to play the clip. There's a link in the description box below. I bring receipts for every single thing that I offer you and tell you my thought process on the entire thing. I just don't want to listen to him talk. I gave you the summation. You can watch it if you want. All right, let's keep on trucking. We are already at 25 minutes. God, time flies when you are having fun. Listen, people. Talking about juxtaposition. I've shown you Chris Murphy. I've shown you this. I've shown you that. I've shown you Chuck Schumer. I've shown you progressives. Now let me show you John Fetterman. Again, this is just a small window into the different lines of thought in the Democrat Party. You know, that totally unified party that's going to win everything. In the past 24 hours, ICE apprehended the very worst, including child rapist. This is coming from Democrat Senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman. ICE is essential. That means pretty crucial. In deporting criminal migrants in our country, the agency needs new leadership, significant reforms, and the oversight to prevent another calamity like Minneapolis. So it's essential. Do the rest of the Dems know? Because I don't think they know. I'm not saying, just saying. All right, let's keep on trucking. I got even more juxtaposition for you. I got to get a super chat or two, though. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Mark Daly, $5 super chat, says the guy with the Nazi tattoo is taking money from people accusing ICE of using Nazi tactics. Exactly, Mark Daly. Exactly. That's because lefties will spend any money they want on anything, even though they don't have it, but damn it, they'll virtue signal. Mr. Woody with the $2 super chat says, why not arrest all of them for obstruction? Don't tempt me with a good time. Tempting. Sean Browning with a $5 super chat says, Democrats' version of Harper's whoa, spicy Civil War reference. Democrats' version of Harper's Ferry. Do they realize that we the people see through it? I really think they don't. I think they live in a bubble. But anyway, watch this. This is an interesting one as well from Johnny Fetterman. Johnny Fetty Wap, as I like some of the people on the streets call him. That's not everybody, but sometimes. Fetty Wap here, he just destroyed sanctuary cities forever. Yeah. Watch. This is indicative of their problem, and I'm being entertaining, or I'm trying to be entertaining with this, keep it tongue-in-cheek, but honest to God, this is their real issue. Watch this.
In 2016, when you were the lieutenant governor, you said that you believe sanctuary cities make everybody safer. Given that has been the administration's argument against what's happening in Minneapolis, do you still agree with that tonight? Is that still your position, that sanctuary cities make people safer?
I think at that time the dynamic has changed much differently, and the border has become more and more increasingly more difficult. So for me now, I think it's entirely appropriate to make the adjustments, and I do think at this point we should be turning over all the criminals that are in custody in all these jurisdictions.
Does that, I mean, for many...
So one of my favorite things to do on this planet is watch CNN anchors not get an answer from a Democrat they expected, then have to abort what they were going to say and start navigating. She does it more in a second. Poor Caitlin. She's dealing with it. She's handling it well. But he didn't just say what she wanted him to say. You got to say the party line, dude. Sanctuary cities are, humane and everything's awesome and there's no rules and there's no laws because my heart's bigger than my brain. But you didn't say that. Yep. Yeah, this is the whole thing, guys. I'm loving seeing all my regulars show up. The chats, the comments, the emojis, the likes, the super... Okay, hold on. Let me start that again. Like, subscribe, and then turn the notification bell on. Okay, there we go. All right. Sorry, see, guys, it adds to the realism when I just goof right in the middle of the live stream. All right, back to Caitlin. Watch, she's going to flat out say it. Sanctuary cities are poison. Watch this.
Minneapolis, obviously you're the senator from Pennsylvania, but in Minnesota, Jacob Fry, the mayor, says he doesn't believe that they should cooperate with those federal enforcement laws. So you do believe that they should be cooperating more with the Trump administration?
What I do believe is that if there are law enforcement that have these people in custody that are behaving in criminal behavior, then yes, they should cooperate with that, and those individuals, if they're convicted, should be deported.
And so your stance on sanctuary cities has changed then. Is that right, Senator?
I think it's evolved because the dynamics and the circumstances, with respects to our border has.
All right, guys, you heard that. But before I add commentary, the next time that I make a mistake hitting the audio button or doing some sort of goofy thing, I'm just going to go, that was my mistake, but due to certain circumstances, things have changed. I've evolved in my stance and performance, and I'm just sorry. My God, just say it. You don't believe it anymore because you all of a sudden have seen the light. It's not difficult. Sanctuary city policies are horrible. They're awful. Look at her face. She's like, crap. They said it on my show. Now I'm going to get hate on X. I mean, literally, that is not the face of happy. That's the face of, damn it. I mean, oh God, the things we do for CNN. All right, super chat from Grunt 98989, $2 super chat says Dems have 2 brain cells fighting for third place. You guys feeling spicy tonight in your super chats. Okay, I see y'all. But we've got much work to do. If you were just now getting in here, this one's going to take fortitude, people. But I believe in you. I know you guys can do it because we are all going towards this amazing culmination of all these tabs. It's all going in the direction. Just bear witness as it develops. All right. This is so good. Oh, this is so good. Joe up there is a lefty account. It's just flat out a lefty account. This is absolutely unacceptable. And so, of course, I said, pray tell, what is unacceptable, Joe? Well, it turns out that one of the senators who caucuses with the Democrats, Senator Angus King from Maine, says he would accept a continuing resolution on the DHS funding to avert a shutdown. Oh, God. You know, last time they lasted 40 days. Now it's not even happening. They're like, we're not doing that again. I mean, like, my God, guys, we've gone from moderate reforms demanded to, I'd be okay with the CR, which is a continuing resolution, which means no shutdown, just so we have more time, more runway, you know. It's, guys, just buckle up. Like the next couple of days, because this is supposed to happen on Friday, the next couple of days, they are going to lose their minds on the left. And then there'll be something else that we have to talk about that makes them upset. But for a minute, they're going to be upset at the lefties, or the Democrats. Senator King says he would accept a CR and a DHS funding, which I already showed you. I just want to make sure a little bit higher. And here we go. I've got the article. I told you, all of this kind of flows together, guys. You're getting Democrats' actions before they even know it. Ladies and gentlemen, Operation Instant Cave has now started. What does he mean? What? That doesn't make any sense. What's that mean? Let me illuminate you. Here you go. New polling. Sorry, let me zoom in. New polling memo urges Senate Dems to play hardball on ICE. The memo from Searchlight Institute think tank. That's the same one that they were decrying a moment ago. Yeah, look, I got a few highlighted points here for you that I think you might find fascinating. And this article came out today, as you can see, dated January 28th this morning. This is why they were all in a tizzy. Democrats should play hardball ahead of a looming partial government shutdown and use their leverage to reform ICE, according to new polling circulating amongst the Democrat senators. Basically, I get that. Come on, get out of the way. Get out of the way, you stupid thing. Can you please? Thank you. Here we go. The polling in the field January 23 to 26, during the height of public backlash after the guy who was the perfect human was shot by ICE, found that 58% of likely midterm voters want ICE to be reined in. More voters prefer reforming ICE than the number who prefer eliminating the agency by 30 to 19%. And this is the whole point. I'm going to zoom in on that real quick for you. This is it. Y'all, you want to know what they're going to do? Just follow the numbers and where they perceive that they're going to have power. This is where it is. The population in the Democrats and the moderate population of the United States does not want a reform of, a bailing out and destruction of ICE. They just don't. The numbers internally in Democrat parties are literally saying, no, reform, not abolish. The far left progressives are demanding abolishment. The middle is going, are y'all stupid? And the rest of us will be like, little. This is what you're looking at. That's why you see this. Again, I try to tie all these things together for you guys. That's why you're looking at this. That's why the demands for, according to the far left, are so weak and watered down, is because they're living in a reality based off of polling of the population, not of their psycho-leftist X-verse. That's what you're looking at in real time. All right, I got even more tabs after this. All right, let's keep on going. Voters want ICE to follow the law and focus enforcement on people who pose a threat to public safety. They want to see tangible changes to ICE operations and oppose letting ICE detain U.S. citizens. They're not detaining U.S. citizens. Enter homes without warrants or fail to wear identifying uniforms. Does this sound familiar about the demands? We want uniforms and we want warrants. Oh my God, Chuck Schumer put forward warrants and uniforms. I tell you what, it's almost like it's a whole orchestrated thing. Don't tell the lefties. God almighty, it's wild. You just follow data and you know that they want power more than anything else and they see data as power. It's kind of weird how you can predict where it's going to go. It's like Wayne Gretzky. Don't go where the puck is, go where the puck's going to be. So, I mean, come on. All right, let's keep on going. Here's the part where we get to the other issues that I just showed you in that tweet. The memo was written by Adam Gentleson, Gentleson. The former chief of staff to Senator John Fetterman and top aide to former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. Very establishment Democrat. For his organization, the Searchlight Institute, which conducted a 1,500-person online survey. The influential new think tank seeks to push the Democrat Party towards broadly popular positions regardless of ideology. Well, you just threw a flag with the lefties. Doesn't matter about what's popular. It matters what's a virtue signal. It has nothing to do with popular or realistic or achievable. It's all about the virtue. That's going to clash a little bit with your parasite. Anyway. In the case of ICE, Gentleson writes, Democrats should embrace reforming, not abolishing the agency. Democrats, this part right here is so twisted. Democrats should use their leverage to demand common sense reforms to ICE that have the backing of broad bipartisan majorities of Americans. If you've been paying attention to politics over the last 10, 15 years, that is how Democrats used to communicate. All the buzzwords in there, common sense reforms, broad bipartisan majorities. That's how they used to communicate. That was when they were actually a force to be reckoned with. Now it's women have penises and dudes have breasts. Dudes can have babies and I'm a tree today. So, I mean, like, it's moved a little bit since then. But that's the way they used to talk. It's my lives. I'm just like, whoa, I didn't know I didn't know that was coming. Sorry. Yeah, well, it happens. It happens. And this part. This is likely to be their last major leverage point for several months, at least, if not for the rest of the year, to curtail the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. See that? These two things combined can give them a lot of leverage at this point. You see how the word leverage keeps coming up? It's all about leverage, all about power, last chance. This is about power. This is not about anything other than power. That's why the middle, third way, whatever institute that was, they're all trying to push the left out of the party so they can go back to this type of language. Again, guys, I'm telling you, I don't know where else you're going to see this, but this is like my baseball. It's like my sports. Common sense reforms. Broad bipartisan majorities of Americans. If I'm landing the plane, please tell me in the comments in the chat. I hope I'm connecting these dots because you are seeing what's happening objectively. All right, super chat. 4,000 people in here. You guys are amazing, and thank you for being here. All right. Marcia Wills with a $10 super chat. These government buffoons on both sides of the aisle spend all their time fighting for power while Americans become collateral damage and no one seems to care. That is a very good, you know what? You get a heart, Marcia. You get a heart. That is very, very true. Make sure my audio is still good. We're good. Because anytime I mention the audio thing, it always goes wrong. Mark Daly with a $5 super chat. Doing the math, 53 GOP senators minus Paul plus King and Fetterman made 6 more votes and Schumer's threat is impotent. Like Schumer. Like Schumer himself, you guys are getting me in trouble. You guys probably can't get me in more trouble than I'm going to get in for the comments I just made a second ago. How can Dems use their leverage when they have none? Jordan Wheeler, an excellent, astute observation. All right, let's go, people. Let's keep on trucking. We've got much to do, so little time. And now we have reached the break point. And here is the part where I will basically, I think I know where we're going next. Let me see if I can remember where we're going next. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. So, what I've shown you so far, if you're just now tuning in, I've shown you pretty much the wide spectrum, the wide swath of the lefties. The lefties in the wild, as they were. From the front car seat warriors and scream volume control inept, all the way to the Chuck Schumers in the middle, with a few Nazi-laden tattooed Senate candidates in the mix. But now what I'm going to show you, as we go through this break point, is the next evolution, the backlash, the anger, the fury at all of their champions who dare betray the socialist ideals of a new communist state. Because that's what we're dealing with. You are not dealing with something who people want change for the better. They want to destroy. It doesn't matter about achieving anything. It doesn't matter about achieving goals. It doesn't matter about a warrant. Nothing they care about matters. This is literally just a reason to destroy. And the one thing that is required to create something new, like a socialist government or a socialist utopia or a reimagined political system, is you have to destroy the one you have. They all know it. We know it. That's why we do what we do. And if you guys are enjoying the content and you are down with the mission of saving this country, you want to hang out with me every single night and sometimes during the day, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. I welcome you into the fold. And like the patriots that we all are, we will persevere and cruise to victory. But you know who's not going to cruise to victory? Oh, Tim Walz. Man, how was that for a transition? Whew. All right, here we go. It turns out that one of the far-left socialist progressives says Governor Walz is selling out his constituents. Now, why would he be selling out his constituents? That doesn't make any sense. He's been the great Civil War leader in Minnesota. Well, because he said this. Y'all, Lefty 101, no, there can be no negotiation with terrorists. There can be no ground given. No, nothing. Not an inch over my dead body and flashbang torn fingers. All right, watch.
Look, I don't agree with Tom Homan's philosophy on things, but I do understand that he is law enforcement and he understands right from wrong, and he knows.
Sacrilege!
No matter how much they were trying to gaslight us, the layman on the street said, I don't really think it's good policing to run around and throw canisters and kick people down and things. That's probably not a good idea. Look, I don't agree with Tom Homan's philosophy on things, but I agree with Tom Homan's philosophy on.
And that right there, guys, is just enough to betray the cause. You are no longer a true believer. You are not part of the system. You are not down with the man because you did things like this. Guys, would you look at this magically? I mean, like, I run out of words sometimes, not often, but sometimes when I see things that just take my breath away, leave me aghast, the betrayal of Tim Walz sending in the police against rioters. Ugh. My God, the inhumanity. Yeah, you're looking at the actual Minnesota... Hey. You're looking at the actual Minnesota police doing something. I think it was like Maple Grove or something like that. I don't care, whatever. It's in Minnesota. But the point is, you're actually seeing them go in and stop them from destroying property and actually arresting rioters. Yep, he betrayed the people. He betrayed the cause. See how this works? Add a little dash of crazy, a little dash of extremism, then a whole lot of betrayal for anybody who steps out of line. That's the way this works, guys. You're not dealing with rational people. They don't want a preferred policy position. They want to destroy the whole damn thing. That's what they're doing. Anyway.
All right, why don't you move up?
Hey, shh. Enough of that, officer. Let's keep on trucking. We've got much to do and little time to do it. Oh, look, the CNN clip that I teased you guys with in our live stream earlier. I ran out of time. Sorry, I had to do it. But I told you I'd have it here. All right. Super chat real quick, and then we will get right to this. Another episode, this time with Anderson Cooper, the whitest wise hair in the West. I bought Tim Walz's service weapon at a gun show. It's in really good condition. It's never been fired and only dropped once. Mark Daly, you shenanigan, you, with $5 super chat, making jokes in the chat. I love every second of it. All right, people, listen. All those chats, emojis, comments, you are making the entire stream worth every second of the broadcast. That's the word I'm going to use. Back to Tim Walz.
First of all, the meeting with Tom Homan, how did that go? What are your thoughts on that?
How'd it go?
Well, Tom Homan's a professional. Which is a lot more than Bovino and Christie Nome. But look, I think the thing we said is we're very clear about this, that we need these folks out of Minnesota, and we need justice for Renee Good and for Alex, and those were things that we came with. I think the thing that I'm most concerned about is the tone was different. There was a tone shift. I wish it was because of the horrific shooting that somebody saw some morality, but I think it's probably the press. But with that being said, I'm not interested in a more efficient Metro Surge. I'm ready for them to get out of here, and I think that's what Minnesotans are talking about. So it was progress. Look, I never got a call from Bovino or Nome.
Never.
Nothing. No, nothing. When they're coming here, and Tom Homan landed last night, and he called me last night and asked if he could have a meeting, and he was there at 9:00. So, look, I think that's progress, but they.
By the way, guys, not sure if you know, they're still doing full-on ICE operations in Minnesota, which is why the left is losing their collective minds that they got played, because they did. I mean, you had two bad cops go in, so to speak, with Bovino and Nome. They didn't talk to him. They didn't do anything. They kicked a whole lot of butt. And then Trump goes, let's be calm about this whole situation. I'm going to send the best. I'm going to send the very, very best. I've heard you've had problems, Christy. I love her to death. Have you seen the brown hair? I'm not a fan of the work she does with puppies, but I love everything about her. And Bovino, he's wee, but he's mighty. I'm going to send them out. Give us some room. I'm going to send my guy in. We're going to deal with this, and we're going to make this work. How's that sound, Timmy? Well, Mr. President, that sounds like a great idea. Cool. Good talk. Here's my new guy doing the same thing as the old guy. You just got played. God, does anyone ever had a business conversation? Anyway, let's keep going. We are getting close to the culmination of this video. this guy is getting rocked by his people. So I want you to see the guy on the left. This guy on the left right here. This is an interesting one. This guy on the left is one of the new masculinity models on the left. Okay, I think his name's Tim. I can't remember. I think he works for the Bulwark. But here's the thing. Watch his body language shift uncomfortably, and watch his language shift and the tone shift when he realizes that Tim Walz pretty much just bent over a barrel. Watch it work. My uncle just texted and said, 4K views. Thanks, Uncle. All right, here we go.
I concur that getting rid of Little Greg is a plus, but the demand was to get ICE out and CBP out, and to replace him with Tom Homan, who has been in his own right pretty incendiary on Fox, and has his own baggage. I'm wondering, if you think that's a satisfactory change for starters, and when you meet with him, what you're going to ask him about.
Well, look,
So I just want to break that down real quick. First of all, you can see the body language, you can see the tone, you can tell he is very uncomfortable with what he's talking about, that question he asked. Sure, the whole mission was to kick ICE out of Minnesota, and sure, you said you were gonna, and sure, you threatened civil war, and sure, you deployed the National Guard to give them coffee and donuts, and I know that you guys said you were gonna not have one more person shared with anyone in ICE, but now you are. And could you just elaborate on that a little bit? Yeah, watch this.
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And Tim, I think you recognize this, and I've heard you. I think you have the vibe, if you will, of this one on this. This White House makes decisions based on emotions and non-reality that we're living in. I
can't. I let this slide in the long form I did earlier. I use this clip. The White House. Y'all, come here. 4,100 people in here right now. In the chats and the comments, please, for the love of God, tell me if you think that of the two parties in the nation right now, the lefties and the White House, you tell me which party reacts emotionally based on emotion completely devoid of reality. Because I'm pretty sure it's not that guy. I look forward to your responses. Let's continue. I couldn't let it slide. It is the wildest, dissociative behavior I've ever seen.
Position right now where I want to be very careful to continue to stand up, and we won't give an inch, but not to poke the bear we don't need it. My hope is with Tom Homan is different from Greg Bovino and these folks on the streets that are just amateurs, that he is a true law enforcement professional. I certainly wouldn't agree with his ideology on things, but I think what he understands is this thing turned into a disaster for them.
I'm going to be honest, it really didn't turn into a disaster for them, especially when you keep on getting clips come out of the guy assaulting ICE officers for several weeks, like a pattern, not directing traffic. And Renee Good with 800 different angles of the same event all show the same thing, and histories of obstruction ICE across the board. I wouldn't really hang your hat on it was terrible for them. It sounds like your narratives are falling apart. In fact, according to all the polling that I've shown you in last night's live, it's kind of like, well, you might be actually devoid of reality. Honest to God. And the last thing I want to say about this clip, which is so fascinating. Again, the thing I love about what I do with you guys is we can have a long conversation about 1 minute. It's all so packed. Don't poke the bear. The dude is literally walking through the woods with a stick, just poking anything furry. Like, my God, is that a squirrel? Is that a bear? I don't care. Let's poke it. Ever since he came out and he was like jazz hands vice president and everything was hope and joy, it's been poke every bear you can. My God, brown bears, black bears, grizzlies, Kodiaks, polar. God, it's any bear. What the hell is he talking about? This guy's chief bear poker. Please be kind on the comments on that one. I realize what I just said. I didn't mean to. But I've got a super chat over here. I'm just saying, poking the bear. It's crazy. It's bizarre. All right. Roadrunner says a $10 super chat. That would be the Democrats. Mini ellipses. Anyone can try to convince me of something different. Yeah, no one's going to be able to try to convince you to do anything different because, let's just be honest. It's crazy. You poke the bear, you get the fang and the claws, gummy bears. Yeah, y'all get it. Y'all get it. Y'all totally get it. Listen, I've got something coming tomorrow, which is going to be a fun one, because I'm just going to give you a teaser. It's about the commie Mandami from New York. It's so great. It's so incredible. Watching socialism fall in like a week is like it is the coup de grace. It is the cherry on top. It is the delicatessen if I still ate sugar. It is amazing. By the way, don't eat sugar. It's bad for you. It's amazing what it does when you don't eat it. But that's for another time, another video, another interview, something of that nature. But we have elapsed 50 minutes of freedom. If you were here the whole time, you made it. You managed all the power that you could muster through all the lefties. And we're going to do it again all day tomorrow because we've got a country to save, dang it. And I love every second I get to spend with you guys. Listen, I love each and every one of you just the right amount that makes you feel comfortable. I will see you on the next one. Make sure you hit that like button, slam that notification bell on the way out because it's a lazy bastard. And I will